YouTube. It's Matt with Limpless Reptiles, and we're live. We're gonna cut. We'll cut's a big word for the first one. We're gonna look at cut-ish clutch 47, and then we're going to cut clutch 48. I can give you a preview. Okay, you ready for a preview? Since we're still waiting for people to show up, there's probably two of you here by now. Not even two of them. Zero. Are you sure you're on the right thing?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure you hit public? Are you sure you told people?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a sad, sad day.
There's the one.
Whew, thank goodness. I was gonna think nobody liked me, which I'd cry about for. About
I've seen like
seconds.
a few messages now, and it still shows 0 on here. So I think it's just broken in general.
Broken into. It'll catch up. It'll like pop up to like 8 all of a sudden.
And it did 6.
6.
Yeah.
It's close. And then maybe we can get a few more. We'll give it a few before we start the actual cutting. I will tell you the first one we're gonna do. We're going to do a lot of preview, a lot of cool stuff. I'm pretty happy with it. There's still one left to cut, and there's going to be something really oddball that the camera probably won't pick up. We have no idea what the hell that is. And then, I just had a thought we had to think about before we figure out anything else. We're going to cut one that was one of our more disappointing clutches of the season. We were surprised getting out of it, and surprised the number of eggs, but wasn't hardly any of them that were viable. And we've only got Uno left, which is the first time mom and kind of to be expected, honestly, on that one. So not a lot of actual physical cutting, but a lot of babies to see. So anyway, how many we got on here now?
11.
We're going to give it a few more minutes. Oh my God. We have an adult fly. I'm going to kill that son of a bitch. I hate those things. It is the season. How we got adult? We never have adult flies. We have 2 of them in here right now. Don't know where they came from. They must die. They must. If I have to stab them with the scissors and chop them into little pieces, they will die.
Skylar says they found the retic in Oklahoma.
Did they find the retic in Oklahoma? How big was it, Skylar?
I was about to ask. I bet it was
How
like
big was it?
8 foot.
Did the news report on that? Was it 13 feet? How many cats were in its belly? I want to know that too.
I'm going to guess 0. 8 foot. We fucking called it. If you go back to that video, that's about what we said was 6 to 8 foot.
Yeah, we were right on the spot. Not 13 foot. And if it's an 8-foot retic,
0 cats.
0 cats. Shocker. Let me tell you, if an 8-foot retic, can an 8-foot retic eat a cat? Yeah. Truth of the matter is, cats by design, and I love cats, so don't take this the wrong way. I'm not suggesting anybody ever do this, but the design of their body makes them an ideal snake food. Okay, so do rodents. So just use rodents. What I mean by that is their shoulders are slim, everything folds down into a nice sleek form. But here's the thing: the amount of sharp instruments they have make them a really bad snake food because they're gonna fuck some shit up on the way. They are. I mean, cats, pound for pound, are the gnarliest animals on the planet. I want you to think, whenever you see something as small, we talk about a big cat, right? We talk about these mountain lions around here. We're getting mountain lions in Kansas now. The state says they're not here. They're here. Every state around us has mountain lions. How big is the average mountain lion? Caleb, you're a big cat guy. No idea? He says no idea. I want to say it's like 150 pounds, maybe. Is that about right?
Sure.
We'll go with that. That doesn't sound like you're going to Google it really fast.
I am, because now I'm curious.
Google that so you give good information. The point I'm going to make is a mountain lion in the world of large cats is not really that big of a large cat. I mean, what's it saying?
135 to 175, so 150 is a pretty good guess.
About spot on. Which nowhere near a 400-pound Siberian tiger, okay, or a lion. So, we're not talking about the biggest of big cats, but let me tell you that 150-pound animal will straight fuck shit up. Like it will. The cats, pound for pound, are one of the best killers on the planet. Your house cat at 13 pounds is not to be trifled with. Like, every instrument is pointy, so they're not going to be just out there hunting cats and not have marks for it. So I'm glad they caught it. I just wish the news wouldn't overblow that crap. And I'm going to bet nobody retracts the story. And I'm going to bet nobody talks about how no cats are actually missing from the snake. And the idea that the news puts out there that this snake is missing for 6 weeks and is eating 30 cats, whatever it was. No, they don't. That's not how they operate. And God forbid there's a school there and there's a fence, and all it has to do is go over a fence to get the children. Actually, there wasn't a fence. That was the problem. A, fence don't help.
No.
B, A 13-foot retic ain't eating kids.
No.
Not school age ones.
Let alone an 8-foot one.
An 8-foot one ain't eating any kids. Okay? Pomeranian, maybe. But they also make good snake food. Don't do that. Use rodents or rabbits. That's proper American snake food. So it's just such a bad, overblown story. I'm glad it's caught. I wish the media didn't suck ass at what they do. All right, how many we got on here now?
26.
Time to cut. So we're going to cut clutch 47 first. Wait for it. Whoa! Clutch 47 was a callipee, so a pastel spider calico, bred to a banana. I don't remember the number of eggs we had. We didn't lose any. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe. That's about right. All of them are here. This is the only one that hasn't been opened yet, which makes me a little worried for it because you'd think it would have pipped by now. So we'll see how that one's doing. Why don't we just go ahead and pip the first one, and then we'll talk about what's in here. This is bad. I'm going to take a little break and get rid of it outside. I'm going to tell you that now, because Caleb and I don't want to smell it.
No, we really
You guys don't have smell-o-vision. And I mean, the egg looks good, everything feels good, but it's just kind of strange that it hasn't even pipped and everything else has crawled out. Kurt and I took a little side trip to Minnesota. So, holy ball sacks. I think I know why now. That looked really cool, but I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
No, maybe not. It may not be a problem. See movement? Yeah, there's movement.
There's movement.
So that, you're saying what in the world? I'm looking at this. I think I know exactly what we're looking at here. We may have some form issues. We'll see when it comes out. And that's just because anytime they take this long, you always have to wonder. And there's a bump there. But it just could be the way it's laying. Oh. So that's probably going to be. Originally I was thinking how much white we had a callipee, but I'm thinking it's a spider calico now. Because that's definitely too dark of a coloration.
Yeah.
That's just probably a spider calico. We'll see when this comes out here. We could have could just be the way it is in there. I think we're probably having an attachment somewhere right there, or we could have some kink issue right there. That one may have some kink issue. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me, and that's just because typically when you have a clutch like this and this sitting here, if that hasn't pipped the egg, there's a reason at this point in time. So looking at that, seeing how I just don't like the way this lays right there or right here, right? That just looks a little bit funny right there, like almost like a belly button. It wouldn't surprise me if we don't have an issue with that snake. There is is that the head there? Yeah, that is. And you can tell right there. And this is, okay, guys, this is why we do this live. I'm going to tell you something before I go any further with this. Most places don't show this. This is why. This is literally the reason why we do this. We want you to see this because this is a part of breeding. It's a rare part we don't get to show very often. And this particular animal is going to be the thing that kind of sucks, okay? So we're going to show it to you. We're going to talk about it. But I want you to understand, we talk about, we show everything. And somebody's like, well, I see a lot of Yeah, we show every clutch. We show the boring ones. We show the ones we're more excited about. You're going to see in this clutch is a perfect example. Some of the coolest things we're dealing with this year and some of the saddest things we're dealing with this year, okay? We talked about how we were concerned about that spot, how it looked like it might be dealing with some kinking and development issues. I can tell you, looking at this animal, it absolutely 100% is. And we're going to show that. We're not going to hide from that at all. That's one of the differences in what we do and what some other people do. So if you look right here is the head. Come here, little buddy. And that's its face. So you can see the mouth has got a major deformity. There might be a tiny little eye right there. Yeah. But this thing, come on, dude, is probably not going to be fit for survival. Now, when it comes out, there's a chance it's going to be alive still. We'll see how it does. I mean, it's alive now, but we will have to euthanize that when it comes out. So if it does make it out of the egg, You know, I'm not going to rip it out and cut the umbilicus because that would cause more discomfort and pain. So what I'll do is let it develop all the way, and if it does live through that, that'll be less painful to have an umbilicus cut, I think, and then we'll euthanize it. But that thing is not going to be fit for life. It's not going to be able to perform the basic functions of life. This is a downside of breeding. Now, somebody's going to go, oh, well, is that to do with spider? That's a valid question because of everything people talk about. That there has zero to do with the spider gene. That just happens. It could be an incubation, it could be a development in the egg, it could be all kinds of things. It could be on Saturday, the temperature changed by 1 degree. Who the hell knows what caused that particular thing to happen? That could be a snake that got a chromosome count off. I mean, it could be all kinds of issues in there that caused that. Not directly linked to spider at all. We see that on occasion in non-spiders as well. And I wouldn't say the odds are any higher to see that in spider versus a non-spider. This, when you see things like this is what you see when people breed super black pastels. So when we talk about a higher rate of kinking and things like super black pastels, this is why we don't do that, because I don't want to deal with this any more than I have to, right? I don't like having to cull babies. I don't like having to euthanize babies. I don't like having to actually, this will get used for food for a croc. I don't enjoy that. You know, I don't. It's not what I want to do. That's why we don't breed things that cause this to happen more frequently. This is why we stay away from super black pastel. That's why we stay away from things like caramel, you know, and whatnot, because this is what you get at a much higher rate. If you get this, say, 1% of the time in normal babies, it's more like 50% of the time in super black pastel. So that's why we don't do it. There you guys go. So anyway, that's the... If we were a different breeding outfit, and I'm not knocking anybody for doing this. This is what normally happens, right? You film an egg cutting. This is what a lot of places do. They have that and they go, oh shit, delete that footage. We'll film the next one and show it. You know, and that's not a bad thing. They don't want to show that. And that's not directed at any channel. I'm telling you, that's 90% of the channels out there. We do it live, so there's no way when this happens we can hide from it because it's reality. And we want to share reality. Like, our whole channel is about, if you want to do this, sharing the reality of doing it with you. Not just the highs and not over dramatizing the lows. So that's kind of that. Eggs kind of.
So we had 2 people.
Uh-oh.
Anna said, does that one baby have some sort of paradoxing? And someone else said, that's what I was wondering. And I bet you can guess what baby they're talking about.
I have no idea. We'll get to that, actually. We're going to show this baby's really quick.
But I'm glad that means it's picking up on camera, because we were trying to work with that earlier.
We could not get a good picture of it. We tried to send somebody really know it. They're not seeing what we're seeing at all because of photos. So maybe you guys are. So let's see what we got. Let's start with right here. We'll go with the 2. Well, these 2. Pretty simple. So this first one here is just going to be a spider. Single gene, right? Everything looks perfect on it. You know, whenever you have one that's a mess like we just saw, just double check your other ones. Make sure your eyes are looking good. Mouth is looking pretty good. Yep. Same on here. Single gene banana. Eyes look really good there. We don't look like we're shark mouthing at all or anything like that. So those look good. Set those aside.
Now a bunch of people are like,
this is what we believe to be a banana bee. So this is a spider pastel banana. No calico in this, right? No shark mouth. We can tell that from here. Can I see your eyes? That one looks good. You're eating your tail. Don't eat your tail, not Ouroboros. That one looks pretty good. So looks good there. This here is a great example of what a calider is, or a calico spider. You can see how much higher the white comes up. Typically, too, when you get your calico in there, this stripe gets a lot more bright. I really like calico spiders. I think they're awesome combos. Eyes look really good. Mouth development's good. Awesome, awesome. This guy here, this is a banana spider. Prime example of why I don't like pastel in my bananas, right? Which snake looks better? This one.
For sure, that one.
This one. Now, this is going to age really well, but this one. But this is just 2 genes. Banana spider, no pastel. Looks really good. Everything's developed perfect on that thing, too. Put that thing over there. I'm saving it for last. You know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the all-gener. So this is a banana pastel calico, we think. So a calibi with banana. And then what we're getting that from is look how much white you're seeing. And then you got this stripe here. I'm going to bet this colors up some more with a little bit of age and shed. It's going to be kind of a really cool looking snake. So kind of dig that. Set that one there. And here's the one that's laying there like a statue. It is alive, I promise. Eyes and mouth all look good on this one. We don't know what the hell's going on with that. I don't know how well the camera's showing it, but what we're seeing is
That's not reflection, guys.
this is all, yeah, just whited out at the top. Almost like
All
you
the
took
way
an
down.
eraser and just scraped the color off.
Absolutely.
You know, I would almost wonder if it was injury or scarring.
But yeah,
But the scales are perfect. It's
Absolutely.
not. The scales just don't have color.
and there's that spot on the neck.
Yeah, but it goes all the way down the back.
Yeah.
It almost does look a little different. The alien head's there. You know, there's Kale mentioned the spot on the neck. I'll show you that. It's right there where it deleted up. There's its sides. There and there. Really cool animal. Here's the thing. It's almost like calico in reverse, right? Instead of white coming up, it's white on the back. I was trying to.
People are saying it shows up really well.
People were trying to figure out what we bred it to last year. I have to look at my records, but I can't think of anything that would do this.
Last year,
because the female would have been the calabi.
Yeah.
I think we did. Might have done banana to it then too.
I have all the babies up there, and there's only pastel spiders and calicos, and then combinations of there. So we may have done it to. No, that was the bumblebee to calico.
Yeah, I'll have to look. I may not have went.
Yeah,
but there's nothing I know of that does this. This is different. So what do we think is going on? Well, couple options. Welcome to the world of finding your own dinker, right?
Yeah.
That's what this is going to be. It's going to be a project. I'm sure I'll give it a fun name. But it's just a project. We don't know if this is genetic. We have no idea. You know, it could be just something that happened, and it could be like a paradox happens, right? But it's pretty consistent for a paradox. Mm-hmm. Paradoxes usually aren't uniform or consistent. So that doesn't make me think it's a paradox, but it could have been just, what are you doing, snake? Come on. There you go. It could have been just even the head colors. Really cool. It just, it may not be reproducible though. We'll have to figure that out. But we will probably be, I'll go ahead and tell you, keeping this one.
Oh yeah.
You know, why wouldn't we? I'm almost hoping it's male.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
It is. Oh,
fuck yeah.
Easy. We can't say fuck too much, man. You'll get me in trouble. I mean, don't want the fucking, yeah, whatever. But really cool. This is awesome. Like, this is one of, like I told you, man, you know, all this stuff here, cool snakes. We hit the odds pretty good. I was happy with this clutch, right? I was happy. But what's the thing I always say the most? The biggest thing for me is you want all the babies to come out live and healthy. Well, that sucked. That one's not gonna. So this clutch went from really good, major bummer, holy crap, something new, really exciting. So this is one of those clutches that runs a whole gamut of emotions. I wish I knew what this was, guys. I don't.
Yeah, no. You know, at first I was thinking, you know how like these get this yellow streak on them? I was thinking maybe that's a paradox shining through, but there's just so much more to it than just that I'm not saying it's not a paradox. That paradox is out of options. It is definitely an option on the table, right? But it's different, man. It's insane. Yeah. And that's why when I posted, if you're in Discord from Patreon, which if you're not, you should be, and go ahead and check that out. But that's why when I posted we were going live, and then it was like a little bit later than when we actually were going live, we were trying to figure that out.
So yeah, we're gonna watch this thing age. You know, it almost looks like the pattern doesn't look like it normally either, to be honest.
No.
The color doesn't, the way it's just.
No, that's insane.
But it ain't pastel.
No.
It ain't spider.
I'm like,
damn sure ain't banana.
See just some oranges coming through right there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's its belly, if anybody's curious. Well, Mr. Chance. Doesn't look like yellow belly.
No. You know what the best part is?
What?
We're repeating this pairing unintentionally. Not for this reason, but we are.
Yeah, we are.
Literally repeating the pairing.
We'll raise that male up and see what he does. So, really exciting. Got one more clutch to cut. Promise y'all it's going to be quick, okay?
His head is so dark, too. Yeah.
Oh, we got one egg. 48. That PS means possible slug. So this had 9 total eggs. Only 3 of them had any kind of vein work, and it was good. This is about the size they all were, which is teeny tiny. Give you an idea of egg size. There's a good
It's
comparison.
like half the size.
Yeah. So this was a clutch that was a bumblebee female bred to a onyx. So which is a black pastel cinnamon. Or no, sorry. Whoa. Black pastel het red axanthic. And it's an allelic combo. So this has to get black pastel het red. It could get pastel as well, and it could get spider. So it could also be nothing in here. I wrote PS. That means I didn't even see vein work. So it wasn't even one of the three I listed as good, I don't think. And those three all went, most of them early. One of them went a while. Just a rough clutch, you know. Zinc band the same as everything else.
And she was one that we were even worried about in general, just because she went so long. Like she was multiple weeks overdue, and then she started being kind of meh, and then she just popped them out one day.
But they're all so tiny. Some of the smallest eggs I've seen. There's a baby in there.
Yeah.
But that might be when we end up calling too, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Might have cold itself already, actually. So this is kind of what we were worried about with this clutch as well. Just looking at it, it don't look like it's laying in a very natural pose from what I used to see in an egg. So we're going to cut a bigger hole in this one so we can kind of deal with such a small ass egg. We really can't tell what the hell's going on. So again, this is some of the stuff we don't like seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Cool looking baby though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, moved. You know, it may be okay. I don't like this.
I don't either.
But it's just so small. It's hard to tell if that's
fused or well, it doesn't look. Oh, it's hard to say.
Well, here it comes into the tail. So it does have some issue.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's too bad.
Come here. You can see that tail's trying to turn into a full circle. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's just... Sometimes when this small of an egg and they're small, it's kind of really hard to tell. But I don't like that back right there. No. Yeah, that's a problem. That's not.
No.
Dang. So we'll see how that one does, but it's going to be in the same boat as the other one.
Yeah, pretty baby though.
So that whole clutch is going to be a wipe, which isn't too surprising. The only clutches we don't show is the whole clutch white before we cut it. Ain't no point. We'll tell you about it. Usually it's in the egg cutting that comes after. We'll say, hey, this is why you didn't see number 22. But all in all, this was kind of, I'm not surprised by this one. The egg's this big. I mean, you saw the size of the egg. In my experience, those teeny tiny eggs rarely yield really good results. It's just something to do with mom. I'm hoping her second year she'll do better than that. Here's the deal when we talk about making a decision to breed. I always give a pass. So like we have this clutch this year from mama. I'm going to give her a pass. It's her first year. It's a one-off thing. I'm going to breed her next year. If we do this same thing, I get a bunch of eggs that are this big and nothing's good, we're just going to stop. You know, unless it's, I don't have to look if we use the same male. I mean, if we use the same male, we might try a different male and go a third time just to see if it's just a male.
Different male this time.
So yeah, so if she does the same thing, we know that's her. We're just going to stop breeding her because it's just not, it's not fair. Even if I could get, you know, 2 good ones, I'm not going to get 2 good eggs at the expense of having to cull 6. Like, absolutely. I'm not doing it. That's just not worth the ethics to me of it. But when you have it happen one time from one female, it could be so many things. I'm not going to put that blame on the female and be like, oh, she should never be bred again. Let's get a little more data first on that. That's kind of where I'm at. And some people may say, hey, happens once, you should never breed again. If that's where you're at, that's okay. I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise. Telling you where I'm at. And if you're like, well, I'd try it 3 or 4, man, you're the one that's got to feel good when you go to sleep at night. And I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise. This is one of those things that kind of each person has to choose for themselves. The only time I would try to say that you're completely off your rocker as if you knew it was going to happen every time and you continue to do it anyway to get 1 or 2 babies. Even, and I don't care. This could be, I mean, this isn't an expensive baby. Let's say these were snakes that were going to go for $8,000 or $10,000, and I could get 6 eggs, but only one of them would ever be viable. And I was going to have 5 that were a kinked up mess I'd have to cull. But that one baby is 8 to 10 grand. I'm done. I ain't worth it. It's not worth it to me. I don't personally give enough of a shit about money to sell my soul to do it. Some people do. That's their decision, not mine. Actually, I mean, even in my own private life, I had a customer I was meeting with today, a possible client, and we do a lot of financial stuff. I have a financial guy, and they're like, "Well, we're interested in that." And I'm like, "Awesome, I can set you up with that." And they went, "Yeah, but we're also meeting with this other company I won't name." And I said, "Go ahead and do that. Meet with both. I'll get you an appointment, but I want you to go meet with the other one too, and compare what we can do and what they can do, and if." They're going to have some things that we don't and vice versa. And if what they can do for you is better for you than what I can do, go with them. I want you to do what's best for you. That's the ethical way I'm looking at it. I look at this the same way. Caleb, anything you want to add? Any questions?
Nope.
Any comments we should address?
Nope. Pretty much everyone just saying, wow.
Wow, I know. I had 2 shitty babies this time. Fuck my life. That's not what you're saying wow about, though, is it, y'all?
No.
Anybody have a thought? I'm going to give you a few to...
Someone said I'll give you a world's first albino shore pit viper for it. Someone else said $450.
An albino shore pit viper.
Yeah. I don't know what a shore pit viper is.
Me neither, but it sounds cool.
It does sound cool, and it's an albino.
World's
first.
First. Caleb's looking up now. We probably will not, because if I traded that for a venomous snake of any sort, Kurt was going to beat the shit out of me. And I know I make a lot of short jokes about Kurt. I'm telling you what, that little fucker's like a Tasmanian devil. If I had to go get in a fight and Kurt's with me, I feel pretty good about it. I hate to be damned. I'm telling you, that dude will hold his own. So.
Oh, I know what they are. They're just called something else that I know them as.
What is that?
They're the purple pit vipers.
Well, why do I want to take all the purple out?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. It'd be cool.
I mean, they're more black than purple.
Holy shit, that thing's cool. Damn. I like that, actually. But I probably can't do that.
Yeah, Ryan, as soon as I was looking for those, as soon as you posted that scientific name, I was like, oh,
no,
I know.
Now
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Anybody have a thought on what that is what I was going to say? Because if you do, tell me. I'm open, because right now it's a mystery. And I kind of feel like this would be the second mystery I've had, true mystery, since I've started doing this. We had the Hellfire Project. We're still proving out, should get answers on this season, which may just be the Atlanta pastel, like we've always said. And it kind of looked similar to that when I started. And then there's this. And this doesn't look like anything. Doesn't look like anything I've ever seen. So I'm really curious. And before anybody asks, because if you're really paying attention to what we talk about, the Hellfire also came from a calico pairing, right? It was no, it wasn't. It was a Blitz to a Champagne. I have a Calitz too, but not a calico pairing. So never mind. Different parents involved, totally. Any ideas? Anybody come up with anything?
It's just cool looking.
It's just cool looking. Maybe we'll call it the ICJL morph.
Call it the Olympian.
I think IJCL. It's just cool looking. Gotta have it. IJCL. What does that mean now? We'll come up with something cool. I'm sure it'll be pop culture-y because that's what sells nowadays. If I call it the fucking...
I want to see it again.
The Jedi Knight or something, I'll pull it out for you.
And again, that white is not...
Yeah, the color,
reflection.
the camera's picking it up.
Yeah, that's insane. A lot of dark. This is all dark with an orange on the bottom. Dark head.
And then it's...
Skylar, that's actually a pretty good...
white ring. Name. There's this... It's like it did everything backwards.
I need to look more into that, because for the longest time I've debated whether that was a real gene or not.
What gene is that?
It's called whitewash.
I've heard of it.
But the guy never, it was never consistent enough for me to think it's genetic. But if there's more information out there, because again, that was in 2014 when, he first started producing that.
Doesn't it come with age too? Even gets more?
I think so. But that is a good, that would probably, in all actuality, that's probably the closest morph to what it looks
I think
like.
we
but
could
even
call
then-
it bass backwards.
Absolutely.
It does everything bass backwards. I mean, think about it. The partial ringer, it's
Yeah,
on the front, not the back.
true.
The calico portion, the portion that should be like whited out, it's on the top, not coming up from the bottom. It's just bass backwards. You know, I mean, that's not what we're going to name it, but that would be a decent one.
That would be actually, because this is the exact opposite of what it's supposed to be.
Yes. Like if that thing had that
Interesting.
white on the bottom and a ringer on his tail, I'd be like, oh, that's just a really nice calico. But it's on his top and the ringer on his neck. I have no clue what the
Yeah.
hell's going on with it. So call it the reverse calico. Reverse calico, not anything else. We got to say reverse calico. Be very careful on that.
Yeah.
You know, can't say anything else that starts with C and helps on the ranch and is female with reverse. Yeah, no, that'd be a bad name for that. So we gotta
Yeah.
go with reverse. You see where I was going? I almost slipped up. I almost called that the wrong thing. It's
LAT
bad.
instead of gotta have it GHI LAT. Look at that.
Look at that. Can we call it lats? Look at that shit.
There you go.
This is lats. Look at that shit.
Rewind.
That's pretty good.
Rewind's a good one. What the fuck? Or WTF, I guess. WTF.
WTF would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cali Ringer. Ram Ranch.
Ram Ranch.
I don't know what Ryan. I think Ryan's starting to go down a dark hole.
Yeah, I think you went down the same hole I started.
I
too.
think that's where he was starting to go.
We went to the reverse. Yeah, we can't say.
Nope.
Ram Ranch. Sounds like something you should search on the internet.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That's all I got. I appreciate it. Anybody has an idea of what that is, let us know later. We're gonna hop off of here, slip over to Patreon for just a few, and kind of talk about what we're gonna do with that shit. Pretty easy guess. So we'll catch y'all next time.